So I thought we'd talk about a rare feel-good story in the culture war. Have a look at this clip.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame.
So that was Oliver Anthony, a country singer who went from working in a factory to overnight viral success with his song Rich Men North of Richmond, which we just saw, which seemed to refer to the people running things up in Washington, D.C., about 2 hours' drive north of Richmond. Now, Anthony went from not even being on social media to 360,000 followers on Twitter, or X, as we now have to call it, and an estimated 6,000 people from around America flocking to his gig at the Morris Farm Market in North Carolina. Anthony said the last time he played the venue, about 20 people showed up. He also opened the gig by reading a psalm, which in internet language is incredibly based, and the song has clearly struck a nerve for its authenticity as well as its musicality. Anthony not only has a great voice, but when he sings, "I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bull bleep pay," we're left in no doubt that is exactly what he's been doing. This, combined with references to Jeffrey Epstein, Anthony sings, "I wish politicians would look out for minors and not just minors on an island somewhere," and lyrics about obese people abusing welfare. If you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds, caught the attention of US conservative influencers who made the song go viral on Twitter, or X. This prompted Rolling Stone magazine, formerly focused on music but now more concerned with regime propaganda, to attack Anthony for what they called his Reagan-era talking points, barely mentioning the musical content. They also referred to Anthony's scathing lyrics about Epstein rather ambiguously as a real head-turner, as if they couldn't quite bring themselves to condemn a disgraced deceased paedophile. Anthony calls himself a political centrist, which is fine because this is not about partisan politics, but rather a blue-collar cry of rebellion against the out-of-touch architects of Western decline and despair. Yes, the song resonates with American conservatives, who are now the outsiders in a country that seeks to put their leader in jail, while their enemy in the White House seems to flaunt the untouchable corruption of his decadent family. And it clearly has establishment entertainment rags worried that this loose conservative movement is finally acting upon Andrew Breitbart's famous claim that politics is downstream of culture. Lately, the arts have been dominated by wokeness, as we all know, but the major players in the counterculture, which is a sort of loose coalition of conservatives, libertarians and classical liberals, are now realising that they need to create, or at very least enthusiastically promote, art that seems to be broadly on their side. That's an important change, but there's also something much deeper at work here. People around the world of all races and both sexes have been posting reaction videos to Anthony's song, and all of them are clearly incredibly moved. That's because the song taps into a core truth about that controlling force that seems to have been immiserating the majority of us over the last several years. Call it the regime, the deep state, the blob, the globalist agenda, the cathedral, whichever term you prefer. Anthony has put his finger on it in a way that only great art can. Living in the new world with an old soul, he sings, and says, "Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is." How many of us have felt like that, especially since the COVID era? With Oliver Anthony, we have an authentic artist for our times, telling it like it is, whoever that may upset, and quite fittingly for a lone travelling singer, speaking out for the plight of the individual against the oppressive apparatus of power, and yes, having a pop at Epstein and some fat people while he's at it.